Welcome back to Kiesel News, everybody. To start today off, we have Trump saying that his idea for stopping crime is to allow one day where basically anything bad is allowed to happen. So people are saying this is basically like the Purge, and they are not wrong. I will say this source that I'm getting this quote from, it does happen to be from Kamala HQ on Twitter, but to be fair, like, they played the actual clip. They're not messing around here. They're not lying. This is actually what Trump said, and, I mean, he could be trolling, I guess, if you, like, I'm not trying to defend this at all. I just think it's so funny that, Trump actually suggested something like the Purge. That obviously would not work, dude. Because, okay, it's basically like this. It's like if a person never drinks, ever, and then they drink one night and have 40 drinks in one night. They just pound 40 fucking hard liquors in a row. Like, they're still gonna fucking die. Or if a person never does drugs and they do, like, 50,000 grams of fentanyl in one shot, you're gonna die. So if you have no crime throughout the whole year, and then you just let all the crime occur on one day, I wager that perhaps even more crime would actually come out of that. Because people would be like, oh, well, I guess I'm allowed to do it, so might as well make use of that. Twitter's value has dropped to $9.4 billion, according to Fidelity. And remember, Elon Musk bought it for $44 billion. That's just hilarious. I mean, I totally expected it, because everyone is so displeased with how Musk is handling the platform. But at the same time, you know, I have to believe that the main reason for this drop is because advertisers might have pulled out. Because you had all that drama with advertisers pulling from Twitter because Elon Musk took over. Because I doubt it'd be due to a lack of users, because I haven't really seen many people actually leave Twitter since Musk took over, even though a lot of people said they were going to. I don't think we've actually seen a huge downtick in users, so I'd have to assume it's due to the amount of advertisers who have left. Still hilarious, though, to see Elon Musk lose that much money. Although, it's not like he's actually suffering whatsoever. Him losing $30 billion is, like, nothing to him, unfortunately. No one should be that rich, but it's the world we live in. Next up, the same person who used Midjourney to win an art competition a few years ago is now suing the U.S. Copyright Office for not letting him copyright his AI-generated images. Now, I'm sure if you have at least a quarter of a brain cell, you see how absolutely ridiculous this is. Because if you're making AI images, you don't fully own them, no matter what you think. Because AI has not gotten to a point where it's able to create completely original works. Something is a regurgitation. Now, obviously, even the most original work has some inspiration, but inspiration is way different than where AI is currently at, where it's just like, ooh, something else has done this. I'll just take this and then reformat it in another way and pass it off as my own. So the fact that there's someone who's actually trying to pass off AI work as something that they should be able to copyright and stop others from using is completely stupid. Wendell Pierce is going to be starring in Thunderbolts. The things that I know Wendell Pierce from are The Wire, as well as The Equalizer. And yeah, I definitely think that those two shows kind of fit with the overall vibe of Thunderbolts. Obviously, not the exact same by any means. They're going to be way darker than Thunderbolts, let's be real, but Marvel's at least trying to be a little bit darker than Thunderbolts, I think. The interesting thing with Wendell Pierce, too, is that he's actually set to be in the new Superman movie. And usually DC and Marvel don't have many overlaps with their actors, right? So I would assume Wendell Pierce has a relatively small role in this movie. I doubt they'd give a huge role to someone who's already involved with DC, but who knows, I guess. A new Squid Game Season 2 trailer has dropped that primarily focuses on the man in a suit played by Gong Yoo from Season 1. And the amount of focus, like the fact that they released an entire trailer just based on his character, does make me believe that he's going to play a bigger role, just like Hwang Dong-hyuk promised. And that's very intriguing because his role is definitely something that needs explaining, because you have all the workers who are essentially forced to do the exact same job, wear the exact same clothes, all that shit, and even all the VIPs are basically forced to wear the exact same thing, with the exception of the different masks that they wear, whereas this guy is just entirely different, and he's the one person that the organization trusts enough to actually let people see outside of the games, and actually let them see their face. Like, think about it. There's not a single other person in the entire organization that's allowed to show their face. I get that that's because if a guy came up to you in a mask and was like, yo, do you want to play a game? Most people would definitely say no, but it's still interesting. A Robin origin story animated movie is in the works at DC, and one of the most interesting things about the movie is that it's actually going to feature the original Robin and the second Robin, Jason Todd, together. It's not going to focus on one of them, and they're going to be called the Dynamic Duo. And, you know, I'm sure this is more exciting to DC fans than someone like myself, but as an outsider from DC, the thing that excites me the most is that it's produced by Matt Reeves and James Gunn, even though it's not set in Matt Reeves' DC universe. So this is very interesting because DC has went as far as to create like this whole separate continuity that's separate from the DCU, and the fact that they're having Matt Reeves like put effort into other projects as well aside from that is very intriguing, and it makes me wonder what the canon status of this to the DCU is going to be, because if it's not in the Reeves DC universe, I doubt it's going to be in the regular DCU universe. Is it just going to be like an Elseworlds project like Joker? I mean, it certainly could be, but I wouldn't really see the point, because the thing with Joker is that it was released before the whole DCU rebrand, so if they wanted to make a sequel, then they would technically have to set it in its own Elseworlds. But with this, I don't see why they would make a Robin movie that wasn't set in the DCU when they haven't even established Robin in the actual DCU yet, you know what I mean? So yeah, it'll definitely be interesting to see how this all plays out. The movie is also going to be a mix of CGI animation, puppetry, and live-action real-time performance. That is very unique on its own. I can't remember really the last movie I've seen that had, for one, animation and puppetry combined, but also with live action sprinkled in. Though I assume the live action parts are going to be few and far between, and like it may only be like live action elements. So like, for example, they may throw in like a real item into the animated world, if you know what I mean, or like something like that game that was announced at the PlayStation State of Play, where like they modeled the game models after real life dioramas, and then like 3D modeled them into the game. So it could definitely be something like that, but it's still an interesting combination nonetheless. Cody Ko has made his first social media post since the allegations back during the summer, and is the post an apology for being silent for months on end and leaving all his fans in the dark? No, the post is him advertising his upcoming DJ show and advising people to come. Yeah, Cody, if I were you, I don't know if I'd be doing that, because I'm sure there's a lot of people who hate you a lot right now, so they would take the opportunity to try and harm you, and not that I'm condoning that, obviously. I'm a huge, like, I hate to admit it, but I'm still a huge Cody Co fan of all his previous videos, and I would probably watch his content again if he posted, but, like, the fact that he just hasn't addressed anything, and now he's even back online in some way and not saying anything, it's completely just so insensitive to the situation that happened. Like, oh, okay, I get it. It's Tana Mojo. Do you really want to address that? No. But, like, just have the balls. Like, show that you've moved past it. Like, you're basically proving yourself guilty and admitting that you haven't become a better person by not even attempting to apologize at all. So, yeah. Next up, Diddy has been hit with 120 new allegations, guys. What? Did anyone really think it could get worse? Like, let's be real. I know we were all comparing this to the Epstein situation, but, like, 120 new charges. Like, how many fucking... Okay, just think of it like this. For a month, how many fucking people can you really fuck in your lifetime, right? Like, I know there was that one guy on Cut during that Cut video, like, who slept with the most people, 1,500 plus, but... I mean, I'm sure Diddy was busy. Could he really have had that much time to fuck that many people? And consensually, nonetheless? Imagine all the people that he's fucked consensually as well. Like, Jesus, are you fucking serious? To end today off, I would just want to say rest in peace to Frank Fritz of American Pickers. This is a show that was huge in my childhood. My dad would always put this shit on the TV. And yeah, it's definitely sad to see him go, especially at such a young age, man. Like 60. You see, basically everyone lived to 80. That seems to be the average now. And yeah, very, very fucking unfortunate. Rest in peace.